Supernova Design Company vlog number 1, Monday, Jan 6, 2025. First one's going to be rough, but we're going to do it and get the practice. Today's to-do list, start our vlog, work on our heater and this all workshop stuff, move the drill presses and the dusty tools, work on the designs for the kitchen racks. Currently working on this heater. It's a cadet wall heater. Just about done. That's the priority for today. Also getting this mess cleaned up over here. Got these two little drill presses that we're going to make fit onto that miter station over there, and then move all of those two sanders to that wall and move that guy back over there, and possibly move our little hardware bin underneath the miter station as well, and that should get us ready to go to work on a haul tree for my aunt and uncle. So about this heater, the idea was instead of the typical floor mount cadet, which my good buddy Dino gave me, had trouble and concern mounting it to the floor someplace, which would have been down over here, but with the dust and sawdust and wood, the fire hazard kind of worried me, and I thought it'd be nice to have something that would blow hot air. So we mounted it inside an 8-inch HVAC duct, and we're gonna throw this fan onto the back of it with a little thermostat, and either mount that from the ceiling up there. I'm not sure if you can mount these vertically. We're gonna find out, because we might put it up there and then we could use the actually it was an adjustable elbow to aim it where we want it, because though this workshop is roughly 750 square feet, there's also got really tall ceilings and little lofts on each side, so lots of heat goes up there, hence that fan. All right, so that's the design of it. Now let's get working on the finishing this build. Here it is. Cold air in the back, warm air out the front. Decided not to go with a thermostat or a switch, because I don't think this garage is ever going to get warm enough that's going to turn off, and rather reworking on furniture and kitchen racks at the moment. So here it is, the corner of the shop, points towards the middle of the shop. And we got nice warm air coming out. It's easy to move, and it's off the ground. Here is the CF. This is the before. Idea eventually to move the dust collector behind this wall, come out there, have all the dusty planer and sanders go along this wall, and get rid of this hose, and have it go up through the attic, or not through the attic, but along the bottom of the ceiling to feed all the tools. We just needed to get something going and test it out, and it's easy to learn when you're using it versus trying to learn on paper, which doesn't always work so well. Anyway, here's before. Let's go. So here we go today. Progress from yesterday and where we're starting today. There's our heater. And now take a look at. So the miter station was updated. The two drill presses that were there are now 1 and 2. You might ask why I have 2, actually 3 drill presses. That one kind of gets used mostly as a drill press. This one actually usually has a wire wheel attached to it, and that one has that little 3M sanding disc to it, and so they usually serve those functions more than 3 separate drill presses, just so I can conveniently get the wire wheel or the sanding or the drilling. Also, the speeds are set up a little different. They're not set, you got to manually set them with the belts inside, so that one's slowest for steel when I need that, and then if I need the faster ones for cutting wood, generally we'll do that here. Well, cutouts look good. I think it'll work fine. Lost some storage under there, but that's okay. Gonna rearrange the shop, get, like we said, put those back here, those under the window, and get that dust collection eventually going one day there. Question for today is whether we leave this in here or add a shelf over there. One problem I've been having is constantly doing this little thing here, a little thing there, and none of the big things get done, which to make a successful business is not the right answer. All right, that's it for now. Check in later. Design fail, offcut spin. Here's one I think we're gonna get rid of. Something I made, kind of wasted time on, I guess. If you learn, is it wasting time? Is this guy. Put holes underneath so the dust and sawdust would fall through instead of build up. I think that was fine. It's just kind of big and kind of heavy, and if you notice the size of the wheels, which are my kids' old training wheels off of one of their first bikes, too small. And I'm gonna replace this. I'm gonna put a shelf underneath there to actually put this hardware bin. I was thinking about doing it, not doing it, and then I realized it is actually gonna break out of here. I'm trying to find a good angle on it, but let's see. Yeah, it's leaning. You can see the gap. I initially didn't build this to hold a heavy hardware bin thing full of screws and nails and nuts and bolts and washers, so it's materials don't meet the needs of the weight in that case. So we're gonna, that's what answered the question here. But anyway, we'll probably just use some old Amazon boxes for offcuts, which is actually kind of nicer because then you could just bring them out to the fire pit and throw some lighter fluid on it or some paper under it and get it going. All right, decision's made. Vlog day 3. Let's see, today's tasks, our vlog. The workshop, we're gonna head back in there, and I can't read my writing on that one. There's an outlet that needs to be set up. There's also just a bunch of lawn tools. I have an old French cleat shelf. We're gonna move to the outside and repurpose that for lawn stuff that used to be stored in the workshop. Also, my grandfather's workbench, the Gramps bench, we may call it, is just covered with clutter from, originally I redid my shop after I got a new saw stop and put a router table together. Thanks, Dad, he passed, and I used some of his inheritance money to put back into one of his favorite places, which was his workshop. So now we've updated that and still trying to get it all set. This Friday, maybe Monday, we'll start, make a trip to the lumber store and start on the haul tree. Till then, we're gonna just try and get a place to work. All right, let's go check out that shop, see where it's at. All right, so here we are back in the shop today. It's Wednesday, day 3, like we mentioned earlier. Let's see what got done yesterday. The little hardware bins got moved over to a shelf that we put together there. See the old dust outline. Yummy, yummy, yummy. The old dust outline from that. We also, yeah, got everything cleared off this cart. This was an old thing I got from my dad, toolbox, machinist. I'm not sure if I want to use this for drill bits and stick it under the drill or scrap it. I'm sure he got it off Craigslist for free, and it's hard to make that sentimental decision on that one. There's the some of the garden stuff that we need to get out of the workshop. And again, here's an old French cleat shelf that I built that I initially used for, I think that one had a bunch of router stuff and the planer on it. Oh, it looks like we got a little buddy came to say hi. We'll put him outside with this. Hello. And so that this whole area is nice and cleaned up. Debating on whether to get rid of this guy or maybe just leave it there for now. The other part, we also have this thing that needs to be figured out. That deal behind the chair is a scaffold, has a bunch of kind of open projects and stuff to put away. Here's the stuff we need to get rid of off of Marketplace and Craigslist, and then Gramps' workbench. All things that we want to hit today. Also, with this toolbox, there used to be a chimney here. We got the roof redone and a removed fireplace from the other room. So we can get a little bit more square footage here and get a usable wall in the other room. And need to, probably gonna move this electrical box over here, or maybe just get rid of that one, then get that guy working. Which is currently just sticking out there. So loose ends. Finishing projects is hard when you never actually finish a project. You get the big stuff done and there's a whole bunch of little stuff that you leave behind, and yeah, this is what you end up with. Anyway, finishing up the little stuff today. Lemons and lemonade, aka it happens. So initially we had the drill presses and that belt sander way over there, and the oscillating sander were on this table, but we got rid of that. So we threw this guy outside, covered it with a tarp, which we thought was waterproof. Turns out it's not. So we got this moldy mess. Kind of bummed by it. But then I realized, you know what? Do I clean that off? I thought about repurposing it for a desk or 2 desks for the kids, but with all that mold, it's maybe bleach it and scrub it. And I thought, oh geez, it's a lot of work. And then it occurred to me, you know what? There's a couple nice 2x6s on there. There's a couple nice 2x4s. Throw that moldy stuff away and the hazard's gone. Not to mention some wag bolts. So instead of repurposing something, we are just going to depurpose it into raw materials. So pretty big table is going to fill up a lot of take up, remove, spit it out, dude. It's going to provide a lot of space. And then we can throw this card out there, let it get moldy, and do the same thing, or use a better tarp. Yeah, check your tarps. If it's old and soft, it's probably got holes in it. Anyway, lemons out of lemonade. All right, Supernova Design Company, Portland, Oregon. Vlog number 4, day 4, Thursday, Jan 9, 2025. Today's focus is clutter reduction or better elimination. We spend the morning posting stuff for sale because we didn't get to it yesterday, and then cleaning up surfaces. After that, it's off to Hall Tree building. Cool. All right. Hello, Internet. Supernova Design Company afternoon update. Yesterday's goal was to get the gardening stuff cleaned up and get stuff posted, which didn't happen. The gardening stuff did get cleaned up. So we got a nice clear spot here now. Also, the big table that was out there, we uncovered it. Turned out the top was full of mold. I think we already talked about this. Anyway, new table showed up there. Nice clean area here. We still got to put away the parts of that old table. And yeah, all this stuff is now on Facebook Marketplace. Probably post it to Craigslist too. And what else do we got? Today we're going to try and finish cleaning up this mess and that, and get this little part of the shop organized and ready to work.